Watch this. Forgiveness begins with the will. Forgiveness begins with the will. Now I'm going somewhere. Now, why is it begins with the will? Because the first thing you and I have to do is make a decision to forgive. And there are some people we've not forgiven. There are some offenses we've not let go of because, first of all, we hadn't even made a decision to do so. Everything in life begins with a decision. Decision is the open door to new realities. And so I have to make a decision. So it begins with the will. Forgiveness begins with the will. It is activated by love, empowered in faith, executed in obedience, and sustained by God's power. Amen. Forgiveness. Now, I took you through all of that to get to 1 Corinthians 13. You should have it by now. 1 Corinthians 13. Watch this. Watch this. 1 Corinthians 13, verse number 2. 1 Corinthians 13 is known as what we say the love chapter. It's about love, speaking with the tongues of men and of angels, have not charity, so on and so forth. Now, watch this, people of God. Verse 2. Put the CEV up, please. The CEV. Now, watch this. Let's read the second question. And what if I had faith that moved mountains? Boy, that's a faith there, boy. What if I had faith that moved mountains? Remember, that's what Jesus talked about in Mark 11. He said, have faith in God, whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed. So Paul said, what if I had that kind of faith? Faith that moved mountains. Look at the latter part of that. I would be nothing unless I loved others. Psh. Could it be God's measuring stick is not how many mountains your faith move, but how many people you show love? Jesus said, by this, talking about love, shall all men know you're my disciple. Not by a big cross on your neck, not by you toting around a big Bible, not by you got a Bible on your dashboard, not by you can shama na 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 and come pulling up in a Honda. That ain't how. He said, by this, by love shall all men know. Folk on your job, folk in your neighborhood, people at the family reunion, by this thing called love, will they know, not by your faith, by your love, will they know that you are one of mine. So he said, what if I had faith that moved mountains? I would be nothing unless I loved others. Jesus. You see that? Man, I got strong faith. Let's talk about who you don't love and who you don't like and who you hadn't forgiven, because all that strong faith and all that moving mountains means nothing with God. Now, it may mean something to you and those around you, but it means nothing with God unless you love others. God says, okay, you're still nothing though. Where's the love? What's love got? Come on, Ike, it got everything to do with it. The love of God and the forgiveness of man are inseparable practices. Look at verse 5. Let's go to verse 5. Look at verse 5 in the CEV. Look what verse 5 said. The first part of that, it says, love is not rude. Love isn't selfish or quick-tempered. Love is not easily irritated. Love doesn't always fly off the handle. Love doesn't always just get upset about any little old thing. Not love. No, not love. A sock on the floor. A sock. A sock. A sock. One sock on the floor, and you call me at work to ask me if I left that sock on the floor. One sock. One. Well, nobody live here but you and I. Did you leave it on the floor? Okay. Have you gotten it up? Did you get it up, or you wasted your energy? Wait a minute. Where my phone? Look, now you done passed up. Where my phone at? Where my phone at? You don't see where my phone at? And you take a picture. You need some love. You need some love. You got too many issues on your hand. Come on, tell your neighbor, say, just get the sock up, man. Just, come on, man. Get the sock up, man. Ain't nothing but a sock. Love isn't quick-tempered. You find people always flying off the handle. That's an absence of love. There is a love deficiency. I don't care how much faith they say they have. There is a love deficit. It doesn't keep a record of wrongs that others do. It's amazing how you can keep tally on people and a record of all their wrong. Love doesn't do that. One translation said it doesn't hold grudges. Love doesn't. So how is it our faith is tied to love? How is our faith tied into love? What does faith and love have to do with each other? Why are they so closely knitted? How is it these two work together? Look at verse 7. Look at verse 7. Look at it in the Amplified. Look what the Amplified says of verse 7. And we'll see here, give me the Amplified, and we'll see here how love and faith are so intertwined together. It says love bears all things regardless of what comes. Is that where I want to be? Give me the Amplified. Yeah, thank you. It says love bears up under anything. See, love. So I have to take my faith and I have to root, plant, establish my faith in love. Why? Because love bears up under anything. See, love can always stand. It bears up under anything, watch it, and everything that comes. Love says, whatever you bring me, I can stand up under it. Talking about love. Is ever ready to believe the best of every person. Of every person. Love finds a way to believe the best about them. Its hopes are faithless under all circumstances, and it endures everything without weakening. That's why I have to take my faith and put my faith in love, because it can stand up under it. Jesus, before I read to you verse 8, well, watch this. Let's read it together. Ready? Read. Love never fails. Read it again. Love never fails. I can't hear you. Love never fails. Say it again. Love never fails. Say it again. Love never fails. Say it again. Love never fails. What did he say about love? Love never fails. When does love fail? Never. Say it again. Love never fails. Love never fails. But Luke 22 and 31 and 32. Jesus. Love does what? I can't hear you. Say it again. Say love never fails. Say love never fails. But Jesus said to Peter in Luke 22:31, he says, Peter, listen, Satan has desired to have you, to sift you as wheat. But I prayed for you that your faith fail not. Hold on. Faith can fail? Faith can fail? Jesus said, I prayed that your faith fail not. Why pray that my faith doesn't fail unless faith can fail? Say, but love never fail. So you know what I need to do with my faith? Put it in love. When faith is outside of love, it will fail. But when faith is in love, now love never fails. See, many believers are failing in their faith because their faith has nothing at all to do with love. Satan is sifting you because you're not in love. You in faith, but you're not in love. Faith will fail. Jesus said it. I'm praying that your faith doesn't fail. Well, how does my faith fail? When it's not rooted, when it's not implanted in love. Because love never fails. A faith that is in love cannot fail, because love never fails. See, many of us own a boat, and when we take the boat out on the water, we go from one side. Sometimes I sit down in Clear Lake and I ride over to Kemah. Now watch this. So if I see somebody where I dock there in Clear Lake, see somebody walk in the water, just walk off in the water. Now, I dock my boat, and they come walking in the water. And they're just going down. Then all of a sudden, they start swimming, trying to get to Kemah, same place I'm going. And so, in their own strength, they're trying to make it. And they're getting weak because they're getting tired, because they're using their own strength, just don't have the capacity to get there. But here I am going to the same place, and I'm not using my strength. I'm using the power of the motor that's on the boat. And all they have to do, rather than continue to struggle, is get out of the water and get in the boat, and let's go and go to the other side. How many of you in your faith are out there struggling when all you got to do is get over in love, and what's been hard now becomes easy? I'll tell you, some people are going, the only way to have relationship with some people is by love. Let me say that again. There's some people, without love, you can't be kind to them. Okay, y'all gonna play me. Are you hearing me? Love never fails. I want you to listen to these quotes here. For everyone who's trying to love, the answer lies in forgiveness. We must develop and maintain the capacity. Listen to these very carefully. We must maintain the capacity to forgive. I have decided to stick with love. Hate and unforgiveness is too great a burden to bear. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. Whether the wrongdoer requests forgiveness or not, forgiving must always be initiated by the person who's been wronged. Regardless of the cold acts of others, you must always pour out the warm waters of forgiveness. The degree to which we forgive is determined by the degree to which we love. Watch this last one. Forgiveness is not an occasional act but a constant attitude. Pastor, that's easy for you to mention all them quotes up there. Watch this. These quotes, every one of them, are quotes from the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a man who knows how to love and forgive amidst offense. A man who was often offended, who chose not to take the offense, but chose to walk in love. What's the difference between the power of love then and the power of love now? We've moved away from it. We moved away from it. He stayed with the message of love and with the message of forgiveness, despite the offenses that came his way, and despite the offenses that he saw many suffer. He stayed with love. And all they did is post something about you on Facebook. Are you hearing me? Now, faith and love are intricately connected. I'm getting ready to close. I want to show you something. Go to Ephesians chapter 1. How much time I have? Okay. Ephesians chapter 1. Ephesians chapter 1. I like this shot. You see them waves on top of my head? Put that back. Yeah. That's that Indian in me. Watch Ephesians. Ephesians 1:15. Now this is the Apostle Paul talking to the church, the New Testament church. I want you to see the connection, the link here. And he's talking to the church at Ephesus. He says, wherefore I also, after I heard of your faith in the Lord Jesus and love unto all saints. We see faith in Jesus. We see love to the saints. You see that? Go to Colossians 1:4. Colossians 1:4. He's talking to the church at Colossia. Since we heard of your faith in Jesus Christ and of the love which ye have to all the saints. We see faith in Jesus, love to people. Go to 2 Thessalonians 1:3. We are bound to thank God always for you, brethren, as it is meet or necessary, because that your faith groweth exceedingly. Faith is growing. And the charity, love, of every one of you all toward each other abounded. Your faith is growing, your love's increasing. Philemon 1:5. Hearing of thy love and faith, 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 which thou hast toward Jesus and people. Faith in Jesus, love toward people. You see that? Let's look at this last scripture, Galatians 5:6. Galatians 5:6. Watch this. Say love and faith. The latter part of that says, but faith which worketh by love. Faith works by love. You know why many believers' faith don't work? They're missing love. Faith works by love. You see that? Now, Jordan, come here, son. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Well, come on up here. You see this monitor here? I want you to move that monitor back over there. And I'm going to need you to stand about, that's fine, facing us. Now, let me ask you a question, son, first of all. Can you swim? Oh. He swims like a fish. That's a whole nother level of swimming right there. So, what goes into swimming? I mean, do you have to, is there a rhythm? Do your hands, certain thing you do with your hand? Breathing. So your breathing is all a part of that. Arms. What about your legs? Legs has to be kicking. So it's kind of like a skill. Okay. And you do it like a fish. Okay. Charles, I want you to put that up there for me for a moment. We have a real swimmer here. Yeah, we have a swimmer. Son, I'd like for you to swim for me. I want to see you swim. Yeah, I want to see you swim. I want to see you swim. Yeah, he's swimming. Go faster. Go faster. Let me see. Go under. Let me see you go under. Go under. Okay. He has all the motions. He told us what it takes. I mean, all of that. But you know what the problem is? This only works in water. It only works in water. It doesn't work. He's doing all the right. Is he doing it right? Is he doing it right? But he's not going anywhere because this doesn't work here. It only works in water. And so there are some of you are in faith. You are in faith. You're believing you receive. You're not letting doubt come in. You're calling the thing that be not as though it were. I mean, you're doing all the mechanics of faith, but it's not working because just like swimming only works in water, faith only works in love. It only works in love. You can have all the technique, all the mechanics, but you're not going nowhere until you find some water to do that in. And all you're doing is going through faith motion. And you're wondering why it ain't coming in. And you're wondering why this ain't happening. And wondering why that. He can be wondering why I ain't going nowhere. And why, I'm doing everything. We tell him, kick harder, man. Maybe you need to kick harder. All of that. But it won't work until he get in some water. Thank you, son. Your faith is not going to work until you get it in love. Are you hearing me? So I close with this statement. Do one or the other, and you will discover one does not work without the other. Either get in faith or get in love, but you're going to realize that they won't work until they work together. Faith and love is the partnership that want to bring everything to you that God promised you. When you going to let them work together? Amen. Are you hearing me? Faith works by love. That's what work means, effective. Faith is effective by love. That when you call a thing that be not as though it were, man, things start changing. Things get into motion. The conduit, as it were, is not blocked up with a lot of unforgiveness, with grudges, with anger, with hatred. So people of God, let it go. Come on, let's give the Lord a hand clap of praise. I need every head bowed and every eye closed.